Fred Weir is a journalist and political commentator who joins us from Moscow. Fred Weir, welcome. I guess I'm going to ask you what our journalist there said in his last statement. Whether we're seeing now this conflict to be taken to the next level by the what Russia has categorized as a terrorist attack on its soil in Moscow.
Yeah, well, actually, I live just outside of Moscow in a village, and our village is, in the southwest, so it's on the approach path. So at least two of these drones were engaged by air defenses right near where I'm living. We heard these powerful atmospheric bangs. That was something I've never actually heard before. And debris fell on our village, and one drone was shot down in the next village over, a couple of kilometers away. So I think that it's certainly a new thing for Moscow. I mean, as you said, Kiev has been getting this, and other Ukrainian cities have been living under this for many, many months. So it is clearly an attempt by the Ukrainians to bring the war home to Russians, to make them see what Ukrainians have been getting. And I'm not sure that if the goal is to inflict panic or scare Russians, then, as your correspondent noted, that's not going to work. And also the drone attack. There's some dispute about the numbers. The Ministry of Defense says 8, so I guess we should take their word for it. But other people are saying dozens of them. But even so, it isn't a serious military attack. It's a psychological operation. I don't know whether Kiev has enough of these weapons to be able to mount the sorts of attacks on Russian cities that Russia's mounting against their cities. I think we shall just have to wait and see.
When you take a look at the duration that this special military operation by Russia, from the time that it started up to now, and in terms of the way that Ukraine has handled itself when it comes to its military engagements, I'm not a military analyst, but I mean, when you take a look at the landscape in Ukraine, in terms of the destruction that has happened, and you take a look at the past month or so, where you are having an increased number of, I guess, attacks by Russia onto the capital, Kiev, well, you can see that clearly Ukraine is not winning this war. If anything, it's losing it, and it's losing it somewhat badly. Again, I'm just looking at the vantage point of the destruction that has taken place. Why do you think there is no appetite for this from either Ukraine or the supporters like the U.S. and other European countries to try to stop this war and get to some kind of solution or political settlement to it?
I think that appetite is growing, that you do hear underneath the surface a lot more people talking about the need to find some kind of peace formula, and that what you said, that Ukraine is clearly losing, isn't actually clear yet. I think that it will await one more big battlefield encounter, perhaps this giant counter-offensive the Ukrainians are talking about, or keep talking about, before this perception, who's winning, who's losing, becomes clear in people's minds, and then it will be the time to start talking about negotiations and settlements.
How long do you think that'll take, if I may ask you that?
I don't know. You have to ask Volodymyr Zelensky, because the spring offensive that has been talked up for months now hasn't happened yet. The weather is good for it now. It's almost summer, almost time for a summer offensive. So we just have to wait.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Fred Weir, there, journalist and political commentator. Thank you for your comments.